everyone. You're listening to Turning the Page with Jer
and Jel.
And we are going to be sharing life experiences in hopes to give you encouragement, inspiration, maybe some different outlooks on life and how to get through those obstacles that you might be facing.
Yes, we hope to be entertaining and sharing our life stories that maybe you can also relate to.
We're going to have some fun as we do this. As my wife always says, we might cry, we're going to laugh, we're going to have some really good times, but you're also going to be able to relate to our lives and some of the things that we've gone through.
Yes, and our goal is to be transparent and raw with all of y'all. So, turn your volume up and let's get started.
Let's go.
Okay, and another clap. Ready? And... Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 24 of Turning the Page with...
Jer
and Jel.
We are back.
I'm just on one today. I'm sorry, it's Saturday.
I am not going to deny that.
Anyways, I get in moods sometimes. But anyways, today, episode 24. Wow, this is the last episode of season 2.
Yep.
Yeah?
Season 2 wrap up.
Season 2 wrap up.
Which you don't like.
You're not giving me a reaction here, baby.
Oh, wow.
You know what?
This could be an interesting one, guys. It is going to be interesting.
End of season
for sure.
2. And remember, folks, we will be taking the whole month of July off, but returning with season 3 in August.
Yes. We're still going to be posting, but it's going to be more...
about life.
No, it's just going to... It might be posts from recent episodes, like what we're going to be posting during that month.
Or season 1 episodes, or about life.
Or some inspirational things. Maybe we'll do some short, like, lives where we're like, hey, we're on our phone right now, and we're coming to you live from...
the lake, coming to you live from the beach, coming to you live from the top of a mountain. How about that?
It might happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we are burning through episode 24. We're ending season 2. We're getting ready to jump into season 3. Mm-hmm. Did you think it was going to go this fast?
No.
I didn't think it was going to go this fast.
We started this podcast in January, and you can't believe how fast it's going.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
6 months in. Going to be 7 months.
Yes.
Wow. Mm-hmm. We started January 2nd.
Yeah.
And we are the 20...
We're rolling.
24th today.
Rolling.
So this will roll, and this will come out on the 27th.
Mm-hmm. So we're really just going to recap kind of season 2, I guess. I don't know. I don't even remember all the episodes. So
I got it right here.
I know, but I mean, I'm not talking about the topics. I mean, what specifically we talked about.
Family. It was all based around
episode 13.
Family. It was all based on family.
Well, that I know. Episode 13, family dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Are you cheating? Are you looking at
Episode 14, stability in family. 15, surpass the statistics. 16, creating family balance.
17, family challenges.
18,
adoption and family.
19,
parenting adult children.
20,
general perspective.
21, celebrate. 22, family gatherings. 23, which was last week's episode, family expectation versus reality. Which one was your favorite?
I liked surpass the statistics and expectation versus reality. I think were my top 2.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because when we look back at statistics, surpass the statistics, there's a lot that if we were to base our relationship off of the statistics that are put out there, like
we'd be failing.
We would be in a weird spot. although
was
we
your
take
topic
that into
choice.
consideration and we understand what is out there, but because it's a statistic doesn't mean that we have to accept that and apply it to our relationship. I think
Yeah.
every relationship that you have is going to have its own chance at things.
Babe, we surpassed the statistics. High five. You know, I noticed that your favorite episodes are the topics that you choose, that you've chosen. Also, episode 20 is
I just
not
like the discussions we had on those.
episode 20 is not general perspective. It's generational
Oh,
perspective. I was
I
like,
got
what the
that
heck is
wrong.
that? I don't remember that.
General. I don't know what I did.
So-
Generational perspective. What was that one that we were talking about? Oh, that's when we talked to
Yes, that's actually
Carter and Brandon and
that
Christian
would probably
and everyone.
be one of my favorites is the generational perspective.
Yeah.
And then parenting adult children. I think those two are probably my top two for this one.
I don't know why I don't remember parenting adult children. I don't remember like key points from it when we go back to some of these other ones.
Parenting adult children. We talked about what parents shouldn't do when parenting adult children. You know, like stop holding their hand and let them grow up and let them be independent and stop helping them out. Like they have to learn.
Stop babying them, basically.
Yeah. Like how do you expect your adult child to move out of the house if you still do everything for them? Of course they're not going to want to move. They're not stupid. They're going to want to stay and milk it as long as they can.
Yeah, true.
So make it hard. Tough love, baby.
You know, that's one of the things that we've been kind of not really, I guess in a sense dealing with, but also confronting, because like with both kids, with Elijah and with Carter, like they're in this age where like Carter's in this age where he's very emotional and very opinionated on what he believes to be true, and things are this way and I'm going to believe it this way. But then Elijah, he's in this place where he's like testing everything and he's not listening as well as he should. He's not doing the things that he should be doing, which we know he can do, but he's completely just being lazy on it, and we know that's what it is. It's not because he doesn't know how. It's just, I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
And
and he's very curious too.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I mean,
Very.
He's exploring the world around him. And I learned not to wear a dress around him. Because
Wow.
every time you wear a dress, he likes to lift it.
Yeah.
It's funny and cute at the same time, but it's also not funny and cute.
Yeah.
It's like both.
Yeah.
But yes.
Well, since he has Down syndrome, he's still in that mindset of like a 4-year-old,
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah,
or,
I know.
Even though he's 10.
That's why it's funny and cute.
But-
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but then when he does it at school,
Oh, I know.
Or he's been in this place where, oh my gosh, I've had to have 2 discussions with his teacher, and what he had been doing is he'll pass by a woman or he sees a woman and he spanks him on the butt.
Wonder where he learned that from.
And I can't say that I haven't done that because I have done that around him, but not thinking that he was going to do it to someone else. But to the point to now, like he's more touchy, like
Yeah.
with
Well,
women.
and
so.
kids are sponges. They absorb everything that they
Yeah.
see, hear, learn, you know?
So we have to be very careful about. I have to be very careful about what I do around him and trying to catch those things to tell him like, no, you can't do that.
But the parenting adult children episode was also about how you have the opportunity to kind of be a friend and parent your oldest,
Yeah.
Christian,
Yeah.
because you came into his life. You came back into his life when he was 18
Yeah.
until now, which I think
So
he's,
now
what,
he's
24?
like he's a young adult.
I think. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so you have the opportunity to parent an adult child now,
Yeah.
where you didn't have the opportunity to parent your children when they were younger, which is totally different. Parenting during the infant years to toddler years to just the children age years and then adolescence to adulthood. Total different parenting. Parenting should evolve as the age progresses.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
So you definitely got to parent up until the age of 8 and then 18 and up. So you kind of
missed a big gap.
You missed that big gap of ages 9 to 18 or 9 to 17, which is kind of like the hard years, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to miss the hard years.
Yeah. It's nice. I mean, right now it's nice because I'm with Christian, I'm more in a directive role. I'm more of a where he comes and he'll ask more questions
Consultant.
and so I can give him my opinion on things, or I could tell him, basically where I'm going with it is where I have failed, I give him the instructions so he doesn't have to go through that and experience what I have, with certain things. And he's doing good. He's been really acceptive on taking that information that we share with him, and he doesn't just take it, he applies it and has been doing it. Everything from saving to not going out and purchasing, things that aren't going to be an asset to him. It's going to be more of a liability, or it's going to be something that depreciates. We've been telling him, do this, if with your house that you have, don't go and buy a new one yet. Hold on to it and wait a little bit, save up that money. Don't go purchase a new vehicle. Save up that money. And they've been doing that now. They've been putting it in accounts. They got an investor. They got all kinds of stuff going on where now they have stuff set up for themselves in the event of emergency, or in the event that something happens to them and stuff. So
yeah,
it's really good. I'm proud of him. It's awesome.
So what do you think do you have anything that we left out maybe in any of these episodes, or anything you want to share that you can think of?
There's a lot we left out. We didn't get into the depth
because
of
sometimes
everything,
we have an hour, so we basically sometimes only reach like the surface level. Sometimes we don't get in as deep as we would like, right?
Yeah.
But is there anything that you can think of?
Off the top of my head, no.
Yeah.
Not right now. I was kind of, now that we're sitting here and we're talking about it a little bit, I was trying to think of episode 2 as a whole. Like
season 2?
Or season 2, not episode 2, sorry. Of course, it all revolved around family, and we kind of touched on everything from child rearing to, even dealing with family, and like last episode we talked about expectation versus reality, and more dealing with other people in the family and stuff like that. So I was trying to think of all of it as a whole to see like how, like a perspective from above, not just like each episode, but I can't think of anything that deals with that.
Yeah.
It's hard because there was a lot of topics that we covered.
For sure. I mean, season 1 was all about relationships, marriage, dating, that sort of relationship. Not really family, but marriage and dating. That was season 1. Season 2 was mostly focused on family relationships, right? And then I don't even know what we're going to talk about for season 3 because we haven't discussed it yet.
Well, we're going to take a month, and we're actually going to plan and try to have everything set up to where we already know what the episodes are going to be, how we're going to lay it out.
We're going to do a different...
Our notes on discussions, we're going to try to have that set up completely as well, so that way we can come a little bit more prepared and more in-depth. I think a lot of times when we start talking about these episodes, it's the good thing that we've continued to do and we want to do is keep this real, right? We don't want to come and be like, oh, today I'm going to, like, we don't want it ever to be a script.
Right.
And there are many episodes, or not many episodes, there's many podcasts that do that. They write out their whole 45 minutes of a episode or that they're going to do, and they have it scripted. They really read everything off of a teleprompter or off a TV screen that they have set up. And I think when you do that, you lose a lot of the realness that comes out. So we've shared in past episodes that a lot of times we'll wait to discuss things on this episode or on the episode that we're doing just to have the responses that aren't planned, or we're not being fake in it.
We want to be authentic and real, and want it to come out natural.
Yeah.
So,
and I think
I think it'd be a good idea to plan out the topic of each episode. Not not necessarily what goes into it, maybe certain subtopics, but it would be nice to know, because we come in every week to film and we're like, what were we talking about today?
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about this. I was like, okay, and then we just kind of start filming and get right into it.
Yeah. And there has been times where days ahead we know what we're going to talk about, and we'll say, hey, we're going to talk about this. And then we both get a chance to go and kind of do our own research on it. And then we bring it to you guys and we share it, and we kind of see both perspectives on it, where you see your view and I see my view, and we kind of jump right into it. So I'm excited about that. I like the fact that we're going to be doing that, because I think that's going to give us more meat.
Yeah.
So it'll have a lot more consistency to it. So I think one of the things that jumps out over this whole thing that we've over at season 2 is we've really come to, I guess, confront the fact that not everything that we go through is the way we want it to be, and that other people's like your relationship with other people, we know that we can't control those relationships. We have to depend on the other person to do their part.
Yes.
And a lot of times that doesn't work out the way we want. And a lot of times that's not, it's not reciprocated.
Yeah.
Where in our relationship with you and I think we've been in a very good spot and place where we do have that reciprocation, where we bounce off each other.
Well, and I think that the whole picture of what a family should look like is kind of skewed, because it's really hard in the world that we live in today to have that nuclear family where there's a mom, a dad, maybe 2 kids and 2 dogs, the white picket fence, the American dream. Families don't really look like that anymore. Like, if you find a nuclear family that is still intact, it is kind of a rare thing and a special thing, and hold on to it is kind of my thoughts on that. I come from a broken family. Your parents still together, which is awesome. So you have that nuclear family that's intact. And we talked about in season 2 how different our upbringings were.
Yeah.
And it's okay if your family picture looks different. That doesn't mean it's wrong. You don't always get to choose your family or what it looks like. You don't get to choose if your parents stay together or not. And for the longest time growing up, and even into my adulthood, like, I craved that sense of family and love. And when I had my own family, I was able to experience that. With Carter's dad, and with him and I and Carter, yes. But where I experienced it the most, where I had that sense of family, that feeling of I'm safe, that feeling of feeling whole, was in my second marriage with Chris, because he provided all of that, and we did it together, and I didn't have all of those aspects in my first marriage. And so it was like, oh, I finally made it. I finally have my family, my whole family. Like, I would grow up watching, Step by Step, and what's that other show? Boy Meets World, and wait, there's another one though. Family Matters. But that's not the one I'm thinking. Oh, Full House. Like, you see these families on TV, and I would long for it. I would be like, oh my gosh, I wish my family did that. I wish my family were like that. I want to hug it out. I want to do all these things. And I never got that until I had my own family. And I don't know if you've ever felt that way, because you did have a different upbringing, and you have a different family dynamic when you had your kids too. But it was just this nice, warm feeling, kind of like Christmas in a cup, you know? I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically hot tea with cinnamon. Hot lemon tea with cinnamon and apple fiber. That's Christmas in a cup. Anyways, or maybe apple cider, whatever your Christmas holiday drink is, you know, it just gives you that warm feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Now I'm just rambling, but I always longed for that. And so now as an adult, you know, that's kind of gone away, because I have learned a lot of things, and I've learned that you don't always get to control what life throws at you.
No.
You know? I
think we've experienced that through hardship and many headbutts against the wall. At least speaking for myself, I have.
Yeah.
When you talk about safe, like that really like rang a.
Did that pull something in your brain or heart?
Both.
Why?
Like, so when you talk about safe, like with your second relationship with Chris, like you felt that you were safe in that relationship, but like what type of safety do you talk about? Some people, when you think about safe, you think about, oh, well, he protected me, or he made sure our home was safe, or, you know, what is your how are you saying you felt safe? It was more of a relationship thing where you didn't have to worry about him going out and cheating, or what he was saying was going to be true, or how's that?
That's
because safe can be many things, right?
Yes, and that is a good question, Bibby. I would be glad to elaborate.
I'm kind of a
for
professional questioner.
Question asker.
I'm really not.
Questioner? Question asker.
I don't know. It sounded.
Anyways, so I guess what I mean by safe is like my thoughts and my feelings and are safe with him, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I can speak my mind. I can feel what I feel. My spirit, all of this is safe. Like, I don't have to hide it or contain it, or, you know what I mean? Yeah, protecting, like being the protector of the house, making sure the doors are locked. That's important to me, as you know. Making sure the windows are closed. I'm like, did you check all the doors? Like, that is something really important to me, because when he passed, I had to do a lot of things that I realized that I never did, and he did. And I was like, oh, I hate this. Like, I don't like doing yard work, and I never had to do yard work. And then I would have to check the doors and just stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I gotta look for everything now. But so that's why when I ask you at night, I'm like, did you check the doors? Did you close the windows? Like, it's not that I don't trust you. It's just that I want to make sure, because I think a couple times you have left them unlocked, and I'm like freaking out.
Sliding door's been open a couple times.
Yeah. During the day, though, not really at night.
Front door's been open a couple times during the day.
But so yeah, that's important, of course, being a protector of the house. But for me, it's more like protecting my emotions, protecting my mind, protecting my spirit, my heart. I didn't think that I felt comfortable and safe that he wasn't going to step out or cheat on me, just like I feel like that with you. I didn't have that feeling in my first relationship. I didn't have that feeling of safe, like, oh, he's never going to look at another woman. I'm all for him. Like, I didn't get that. Because our relationship kind of started off on the wrong foot anyways, right? So that's what I mean by having that safe feeling. It's like a comfort too, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, and like you said, there's we when we're growing up and we're in a certain
Environment.
environment that we expect, I think there's two views now that the world has, that culture shows, right? There's everyone knows that there's a truth. There's truth, there's right and wrong, and a lot of us believe in that. And then there's the cultural side where, well, that's my truth. So, like, even with marriage, we get married and we live our life understanding that I am going to honor you because God is the one that we try to please, and God is the one that placed you in my life. But not everybody thinks that way. Some people think that marriage is just a piece of paper. And God, I've heard this so many times in my relationships where the people that I thought, or the person that I was with, I thought their mindset was the same as mine, thinking that marriage is a commitment between you and God. The piece of paper has nothing to do with it. That's something for the state. That's something for government. That's something for these places that we depend to file everything for us. But there's a lot of people that really believe that marriage is just a piece of paper. And they don't look at the spiritual blessing of things. They don't look at that it was designed by God to allow us to glorify Him through it. And a lot of times that's why people just throw it out like nothing,
Get divorced right
Oh, well,
away.
I'm not happy. He doesn't make me feel this way. I don't like the way, she treats me, or I'm tired of the way this or whatever. And we give up so quickly because we don't value what marriage truly is.
Yeah.
And in our culture right now, everything goes against it. Everything goes against that and doesn't really back it up and benefit it and support it the way it used to. Everything in our culture right now goes against it, where now this whole agenda is being pushed and the family is not key anymore. It's like, well, we can be with whoever and whatever I want to be with, and go that route.
Yeah.
But we believe through our faith and through what the Bible teaches us that when you and I are married and we do it through God's blessing and God's covering, that not only am I blessed, because God's word says I'm blessed if I find a wife. And I really am.
Yeah.
But there's so much more that comes with that, and we have so much more value, and I think we hold more integrity in our relationship than we would if we just thought of it as, well, it's just a piece of paper. I can go get that thrown out and file a new one and find someone else,
It's a very
And
expensive piece of paper.
Yeah. And we stay faithful to each other as well, where now these days, that's not the way it always is. People are, one or the other will cheat in the family or in that marriage, or
Yes.
they bring other people into their marriage.
And instead of forgiving, they part ways.
Yeah. And if that's what you do, that's what you do, right? But there's repercussions and there's things that come with doing that. There's, what would you call it? There's consequences for your actions. There's things that you're going to experience if you're not doing what we're designed to do or called to do. But
Yeah.
that's where people come in and just say, well, that's my truth, or that's what I believe. Well,
Marriage
you're
is a
more than glad to
covenant.
believe that,
Marriage is a covenant that you make between a husband and wife and God, and it is not meant to be broken. And that is the agenda of the enemy or Satan or the devil or whatever you want to call him, is to break up homes and to break up families, because a family unit is the closest thing to church and to what it should be and what God designed and created. It's sacred, but not everybody believes that.
No, and then we understand too that, like you said, we can't control everything. There's times that I've gotten into marriage thinking this is it. I'm married. I'm going to be with this person for the rest of my life, and
And one of the things,
didn't happen that way.
Just going off of season 2 and family topics, is one of the things that people think about when they get married is they take a look at the person that they're marrying. They take a look at their family, their parents, their siblings. Like, what family are they coming from? Which I think is kind of important, but you're not marrying their family. You are marrying them.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a topic that a lot of people, I think, disagree on, because some people were like, oh, if you marry them, you're marrying their family. They were raised by them. They grew up with them. If mom and dad are like that, you can guarantee that son or daughter will also be like that at that age. Like, you hear that all the time. But that's not really always the case, I don't know. What do you think about that? Because, I think viewing their family and where they came from maybe has some slight importance in deciding whether or not you're going to spend the rest of your life with this person. But I don't think it should be a deciding factor.
Yeah. I think depending how your family was how you were brought up within your family will impact how you act and react to things. Sometimes you see people and you're like, man, that apple did not fall far from that tree. It's like having a mirror and seeing that person with their family as far as the way they do things. And then there's other families where you didn't have that full influence. They were influenced by multiple people or multiple family parts because they had step parents or they had different people in their lives, or grandparents or aunts and uncles that really spoke into who they were and who they are today. And sometimes you look at, the family, like the parents, and you look at that person, and there is a big difference. There's a lot of times it's like, wow, this person thinks completely different than them, and I think it just depends how you're brought up. I think like what you grew up in. Mm-hmm. So, and I think it's through experience too. A lot of times you can have that mindset that you were taught, but then you get confronted with, am I doing this right? I don't think this is right. And then you go your own way and change things, So.
Right. Yeah. That's the beauty of being an adult. You get to choose what you want, who you want to be, what you want to do. You get to recreate yourself as many times as you want. Who says you have to be the same person for 20 years? Nobody.
I don't think anyone is, though, either. I think the things that you go through, like the things that I've gone through, have changed me.
Yeah.
As a man, as a husband, as just a person. There's things that I've experienced and gone through that mold me, that who I am today. But there's also those points that I could look back at and see where I could have made, where that, where you're in that why, that fork in the road where you've got to decide, am I going to go this way or am I going to go this way? Mm-hmm. And I look back now because even like with me having multiple failed marriages, I only left one of those marriages and bluntly and pleasantly got out of it because of the fact that there was so much awfulness and deceit and, oh my gosh, all the stuff that was involved with that.
Which was your first marriage.
Yeah. Whereas in the last two, I would have worked to make it work or to happen. Mm-hmm. But it didn't go that way. So, and which is good because I would have missed out on what you bring and how you are with me, which I've never experienced in any of these other relationships.
You would have missed out on a real...
I would have. And
godly relationship.
Sometimes you look at seeing, your past and where you're at now, but when I really look back at it to see like what I was experiencing and what was actually being done in those relationships, and there's fault that I had brought to, there was areas that I could have been better and I could have done certain things, but I didn't give up on it. I wasn't the one that walked away from it. And
Yeah.
I don't easily walk away from anything except for my first marriage, because that was to a point where I dealt with it for a long time.
Yes.
Just like
8 years,
bad
9
stuff.
years.
9 years. Well, I was married for 9.5 years.
So almost 10
But
years.
from the beginning, it started out as,
Mm-hmm.
I think like the first year we were together was like there was peace and stuff, but I always seen there was like huge red flags, but I ignored those because I didn't know of red flags. I didn't know that you were supposed to, look at that.
Pay attention.
Yeah. And, when you ignore those things, they're going to come up later. And all the things that I seen before were things that came up later and eventually just deteriorated this whole
baby,
relationship.
you live and you learn.
Yep.
And
But I've learned some great stuff now, so I'm proud of
Yes.
that.
And now when I go to you and I tell you, hey, this bothers me when you do this or you say this, guess what?
What?
You actually do something about it.
Do I?
Yeah. You actually change
know.
a bad habit, or you reciprocate.
Some things I do.
And you're like, okay, I heard you. And then he tries to make it better. Now, of course, it's not always 100%, but the fact that you even try or put in an effort because you understand that it's something that is important to me or that bothers me, and you try to fix it, I really appreciate that.
Awesome.
That's called
I should give myself a gold star right
hashtag
now.
growth.
Yep. Well, it's important. It's important to listen to each other's needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And wants. Needs and wants.
Yeah.
Not everything we want is needed, but
Very true.
sometimes what we need is not what we want.
Some things that you want is not needed.
That was deep. Did you hear that? Did you hear what I just said?
Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear?
Just kidding.
Let's not go there.
But yeah, I think, and all this kind of goes back to what we've kind of discussed in season 2 and where we're at. And I'm anxious to see what we're going to talk about in season 3, because
I don't know. Season 3 will be August, September, and October. So those 3 months, we'll have to see what comes up. But it's been fun so far.
Yeah, it has. I look forward to each podcast that we record.
Yeah,
I do look forward to doing it.
I didn't realize I married a chatty Cathy. But I like it. I'm not complaining. I like it.
Wow.
He's actually very, very talkative.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay.
You told me I was talkative today.
This morning, oh my gosh.
We went to a nutrition club that we go to, and we went to have
Nutrition Club.
a tea, and I love the protein cakes that they have there. And she got her shake, and she's like, "You were really chatty today."
Oh yeah, he's talking.
I was just having conversation.
Talking
I don't
up
know
a
what was being
storm with the people that were working the shop this morning, and.
But it's nice when you can go to a place like that and they're reciprocating that, like they want you there and they appreciate you being there, versus going to some places and they're just like.
You can feel like you're walking on eggshells.
Ugh,
I hate that feeling.
It reminds me of work.
What? What? Not all the time.
What?
No way. His favorite saying, and now he's got me saying it, and it's all because of a stupid TikTok, I think, right?
Yeah.
Didn't you see it? I still haven't seen that TikTok, but now that you say it all the time, I'm saying it all the time. Isn't it weird how when you're in a relationship, like their mannerisms become your mannerisms and vice versa?
Their behavior becomes your behavior. Their craziness become your craziness.
But do you notice that? It happens all the time.
Kind of, yeah. I think, well, when you're together so much and you reflect what you're around, and it's good to have some similarities. Not in everything. I don't want similarities in everything.
No, not in everything, but like, I think before you, I could be a little bit uptight or like not as fun. And then now, because you're in my life, I'm like a little bit more fun. Ask Carter. Ask him.
No,
I'm
I
not.
know that.
I don't make this up.
I've heard
I
that.
don't notice
Your
it.
parts
but
of people in your family and
like
people that are
I
close to
guess
us
I'm
have
like
mentioned
more
that.
light and airy, whatever that means, is what I've been told.
Is what I've been told
So
is
then,
you're allowed to be
so then
yourself.
the question that I think of that poses in my mind is, if I adopted that from you, what did you adapt from me? Oh no, please don't tell me it's my attitude. What did you adapt from me?
Why? How did you adapt that from being airiness or being whatever? Sometimes you are
Because
you are airy.
I know I could be like that without you, but they say, you know how that saying goes where you
I don't think you got that from me. I think you
on.
got that because
Let me speak
I
my
let you
mind.
be yourself. I don't try to change
do,
who you are.
which I appreciate, because
I don't want to change who you are.
that makes me feel safe with you. Like, I can be my true self with you, and you won't judge me for it.
I don't know. Sometimes I think I do judge you for it because you get a little out there.
But you still love me. Okay.
She can be like super silly at times, and oh my gosh, sometimes she's just like, whoo.
He doesn't always think it's
but I do
silly.
that too, so.
Just like I don't always think you're silly. Like, what you find silly, sometimes I'm like, that's not really silly.
The TikToks I send
No,
you are hilarious.
not all of it.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
We have different humor sometimes. But no, what I'm trying to say is, you know that saying where that goes around, it says that you are the 5 people that you surround yourself with? Like, show me who your friends are and I'll show you who you are. Those sayings. You've never.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you like 24/7 pretty much. So I adapt to you. I pick up traits from you just like you pick up from me. So what did you pick up from me? Please let it be the clean freak.
No, I am not a clean freak.
I know. It's not that.
I am not there. I haven't. I think I'm
but-
on stage. Like, if it was stage 1 through 10, I might be at stage 3, maybe 4.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
There's things that I do well in cleaning, and it's not
Name one.
clothes.
That's like the only one. I'm sorry, but it is. Anyways, moving on.
Clothes and hanging up clothes. And washing clothes.
That's the same thing. It's all part of it, baby.
And bug protection and
you're not consistent.
air conditioners and
but
grilling.
That's not cleaning.
Yes, it is.
Those are not cleaning.
Air conditioners is majorly cleaning. You should have seen the dirt I had to pull out of that thing, the sand. And maintaining it. Oh my gosh.
Okay, but my point is, what characteristics or traits did you adapt from me? Is it wanting to be home a lot more often, or because before me, you were like always out and about. You were always doing something. You were out every night, partying it up. You were. I'm not kidding.
I think one of the things that I've gotten from you that I've really look at our relationship is the value of relationship with each other and with other people.
But that's not really a trait or characteristic for me.
Yeah, that's a big characteristic for you, because that's something that who you used to be and how you used to look at things. And then when Chris passed away, you were not that person that you used to view things and do things the way you used to. You kind of changed your perception on that stuff. So now your character and your view of things is different, and you have more of a appreciation for stuff, which
for life,
love,
for
relationship. All those things. And when I talk to other people, that's like one of the things that always comes out for some reason in every discussion that I have with someone about you and I. So when I meet someone, or I haven't talked to somebody in a while, and they're like, how are you doing? I'm like, doing good, got married, this, that, working, doing this, we've been traveling a little bit. And they're like, you got married? Who did you marry? And, they go through the whole history. And, of course, well, how did you guys meet? Always comes up.
Of
So
course.
I share our little 3-minute version of how we met, and we've shared that on this podcast a lot. And when I tell them, they're like, "Oh my gosh, oh that's so sad, but that's so beautiful." And the thing that always comes out is that must be difficult, or that must be hard to deal with, or that must be because of the fact that, like, when we got together, it wasn't just you and I. When we got together, we had people around us. There was other people. Not, I don't want to say they were involved, but they were aware, I guess, right? So when her and I started hanging out a little bit more, and the option or the decision of, hey, we can actually be a couple, like, we see, I hate saying potential because that's not what it is, but we saw what our relationship could look like already before we were in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was afraid, and I was very hesitant because friends around us that were friends with Chris.
Whoa. You are getting way off topic. How is that related to family? This seems like a season 3 topic. You know what, husband? I'm going to be honest with you. You tend to go off of these tangents and get off topic a lot.
I don't think I'm far off topic. You asked how
I asked
how people,
what traits you adapted from me.
I was talking about that, but then you asked another question saying, well, how do they?
I'm going to have to rewatch this.
Wow.
But no.
Anyways, the value of life and where we were going,
that is what you adapted.
That's what I've adapted. And
thank you. Thank you for the clarification.
The excitement of doing things. Like it's been hard. I haven't always had the option. Like in the past, I didn't have the means, the money, or the drive, I guess, to go out and do stuff. Where with you, I basically just have to mention it, and you were like, "Oh yes, we're going. Let's do this, and we're done." And then we're going.
You ain't gotta tell me twice.
Nope.
He's like, "Oh, maybe we should plan a trip." Okay, let's go. Google.
And 3 days later, it's planned and ready to go.
Yes.
Not even 3 days.
You want to know why?
Say 3 hours.
Do you want to know why I'm like that?
Because
life is too short.
Yeah.
Seize the day. Carpe diem, baby. Like, all this, it's just, life is so beautiful, and you don't know when you're going to die. Okay?
And I don't want to be 70-year-old getting ready to go on a plane and falling asleep everywhere we go.
And we talked about this in season 2 also. Yeah. How we don't want to wait till we're retired to live life and travel because we're going to be tired. You even showed that little meme with the old couple in the gondola.
Yeah, it's true.
And, my dad recently just texted our sibling, like, family group text how an Uber driver in El Paso, Texas was shot and killed. And he sent a picture of his vigil at the park. So I was like, and he said, like, we don't know when our time is. It's our time. We don't know, which is true. So why not live every day like it's your last? I know it's so cliche. It's such a cliche.
No, it's not. I think it needs to be done because so many people wait till they lose a loved one, or they lose a family member, or they lose someone close to them to go back and remember that. Mm-hmm. Whereas you can live like that every day, which, back to what one of the things I get from you is you live that every day. You show that appreciation, and not all the times do we always have that. So
I appreciate everything. I appreciate fried pickles. I think that they're amazing and they taste good. I mean, green chili. Don't even get me started on that. I appreciate sunsets, sunrises. I mean, white chocolate mocha lattes. There's a lot of things. I appreciate being outside.
What's the ones that they have that you get from, like, in the morning, sunset? What is it?
I don't know.
Comes with orange juice, pineapple juice.
You're talking about a tequila sunrise?
Yeah, there you go. That's sunrise.
Yeah, you do.
Just
I mean, I appreciate the fact that I have legs.
That's different, huh?
Yes,
Never
that
mind.
is different, babe.
Sorry.
I appreciate the fact and cherish the fact that I have legs. I can actually use them to run and walk and jump and squat. I mean, do I like doing those things? No, I don't like doing those things. But
I'm glad you have legs too.
But I appreciate and cherish the fact that I have legs to do those
I'm
things.
glad you have legs.
I have these.
Not that if
I'm
you don't have
grateful.
legs, that
I have arms.
yes, you do have arms.
I mean, I got eyes to see. I got lungs to breathe. Like, these are all things that people take for granted. That you shouldn't. You should feel blessed that you have this. You should wake up every morning and be like, today I get to work out. Today I get to go to work. Today I get to drive my car. Today I get to brush my teeth. Today I get to drink my hot tea. Today I get to pet my dog. Today I get to kiss my husband. Mwah. Today is going to be a good day. You should wake up with that I get to mentality is all I'm trying to say.
Rather than saying I have to.
Like,
is there a difference?
There's a difference. Like, I have to go to work today. No, I get to go to work today. I get to make that paper. I get to use that paper to buy me whatever I want. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Anyways, that's a wrap up for season 2.
Yes. Thank you guys for, following us and following along with us what we've been discussing and discussing. Kind of like gushing, but we're discussing.
Baby.
Discussing.
We need to make a reel of all the words that you mispronounce.
I mess up a lot of them. But, we hope that you get to kind of have a view of who we are and how we kind of, I guess, maneuver through things and decisions and stuff that we go through. And, of course, we try to get more in depth in some of this stuff, which we will.
And I actually wrote down some topic ideas for season 3 just in case we want to dive into that that you made me think about, like marriage after losing your spouse and what was hard to deal with it and what was difficult.
Yeah. That is something we haven't got into depth with,
no,
and we haven't really dug in, but
I think mostly because
be something that's going to be a good one too.
And I think mostly because I haven't been ready to.
Yeah.
And I haven't shared that with you, but I don't think I have been ready to.
No, you have. You've said that multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll start talking about it, or there's times that we've got into it where she'll like barely skim over it and then she changes the subject.
And I'm like, I really want to cry today? No, I don't. So I'm going to just... So, and that has been me. But, just, we'll pray about it. See what happens.
I think it is good to bring it up, even though it's been kind of difficult, because, yes, it is still fresh, but your emotions and what you feel are real, right? It's not something that...
But I'm also in a different place now than, like, the beginning or than even a year ago or...
Yeah.
So,
true.
Because we're going on 3 years this December. So, but we'll see. We'll see what season 3 has in store for us, right?
Yes. It's going to be fun. I'm excited.
It will be. So,
I'm excited.
Thank you guys so much for joining us and tuning in to our podcast. We hope you like and subscribe, share our reels.
Subscribe. That helps us because, one, we're trying to get to that goal. But we also want you guys to get those notifications and see when we have something new coming out every week. And since we're taking July off, come August, you'll get notified.
Yes, you will.
When something comes out.
You
or
won't.
Even during July, because we'll put some small...
You won't miss the first episode, that's for sure. So thank you for listening to Turning the Page with
Jer
and Jel.
Bye, y'all.